Welcome back. Epic. It's time. The long-awaited test of Callaway's new Epic Max, Epic Speed, and Epic Max LS. Let's get stuck in. One thing, guys, the more likes the videos get, the more people YouTube share it with, so please give it a little thumbs up. Enjoy the video. That's a good start. Callaway Epic time. I have all three heads to hit: Speed, Max, Max LS. I have all three to hit. I'm going to hit them with the Mitsubishi MMT 60 extra stiff shaft. It's the same weight, similar bend profile to what I'm using at the moment. There is a 70 gram version, but in previous videos you've seen it 70 grams for me, a little bit laboured. So I'm going to hit all three with a 60 gram X. I'm going to start off with the Max. I'm going to go through a bit of tech talk, which is in all of them first, and then I'll do it individually before we hit each shot. So it's got flash face SS21. That's just their artificially intelligence designed face again. So each face is different for each loft, for each head, which is really cool. They have their new, so they had jailbreak in Epic. So Great Big Bertha had jailbreak. 2 bars running down. Rogue had it. Maverick had it. Big Bertha B21 has it. This is slightly different. So what they've done is, you've seen those little teasers. I'll post them all up. You've seen those little teasers of John Ram, of Phil Mickelson, of Steph Curry just posting with looking through this little speed frame. That's now what's behind the face. The artificially intelligence designed face has the speed frame behind it. This is what they're calling it their fastest. I mean, I am not going to begrudge them that. It should be. I did compare it to Maverick, and I left Maverick out so not to embarrass it, to be quite honest. I left it out. Maverick was quite comfortably destroyed here. I'm going to hit all three of them. I'm going to start off with the Maverick. I'm going to start off with, not the Maverick, Epic Max, standard one. I do have the wrong loft. So I'll discuss at the end, and I'll show you why that's different and what it's doing. But let's have a look. Let's do a little deep dive and have a look and see what happens. So before we hit it, let's do a little bit of tech talk on Epic Max. This is going to be the most forgiving. This is going to be the biggest seller for the higher handicappers. It has a 16 gram adjustable weight at the back, which is going to dial in your ball flight. It has a preset draw bias already in it, and you can put the weight in the heel and set it to the hosel setting. Callaway have still got their same OptiFit hosel setting. This is the highest launching and the most forgiving. It's got the highest MOI. So this is kind of misses across the face. This is going to be the highest launching. It's going to be good. I only had this in a 10.5 and I could only put it to 9.5. So the shots do go quite high. You'll see at the end with the numbers where I talk about the dynamic loft and how much higher it is. And I'll explain that later on. But let's see how it performs. Now let's do a bit of tech talk into the speed. This is, as you would imagine, it's all about speed. It's got cyclone aerodynamics is what they're calling it. There's no adjustable weight track. That's just for a bit of weight saving. It has a semi-draw bias in it. So you could set it to 1 degree lower just to get the face to open a little bit. But this is all about their speed project. They say on the website it's the least forgiving head, but it's still forgiving. It's still forgiving. You see by some of the shots that they go absolutely miles. It's hard to predict how this is going to do. compared to the other two, because the other two are still very forgiving and perform very well. Anyone wanting a bit more distance, a bit more ball speed, a bit more club head speed, this is going to be the one. Let's see how it performs. Now a quick dive into Max LS. This is essentially the Max, just a lower spinning version. It has a neutral CG instead of a heel CG, a draw CG. This is going to be probably your biggest seller for your guys that already have a high club head speed, already hit the ball quite far, they just need a bit more control. It's still 460cc, they're all 460cc, but I think this is going to be very popular with your lower handicappers and your faster swing speeds. Let's see how this one performs hitting a few shots. I love these drivers. I'll tell you why. Feel is very, very good. I don't often talk about feel because it's a subjective thing. What I feel might be different to what you feel, but my perception of the feel is so solid and it just feels powerful. I hit a couple out the toe and a couple in the heel, and even in the LS, I got away with it. I feel that in the speed I maybe wouldn't as much, but in the LS, I found it so controllable, and I think this is going to be the secret of me hitting more fairways, to be quite honest with you. Let's bring the numbers up. So you can see that the loft has added insult to injury for the Max. I do think that is a lot better than what it's actually being represented as there. The dynamic loft at 19.7 is compounded by where the MOI, or how high the MOI is, where I'm hitting it on the face being quite high, and it's almost just tilting back and adding more loft. That's still a very good distance for something that I'm getting almost 20 degrees of dynamic loft out of. But if you look at the Epic speed, interestingly enough, it's the slowest swing speed. Slightly slower ball speed than the Max LS. I just feel that there was a bit more of a drop off. I don't think that is representative of the good ones. I do think the ball speed was the same with the speed and the Epic Max LS. I just got away with a bit more in the Max LS. Being the slowest at 110, it could be a misread. It could be the TrackMan picking up a slightly different part of the back of the head. It just depends. I like Epic Max LS. 111 ball speed, 111 club speed, 170 ball speed, 305 carry to 329 total, 1800 spin, which is almost identical to the Epic speed, by the way. Exactly the same dynamic loft and a slightly softer land angle. I feel that the control and distance I'm getting out of the Epic Max LS is the best of the three. What I mean, it is. You can see the numbers. That's going to go up against, that's going to go into the head-to-head with the ultimate driver test to see what goes in my bag before the pin comes out. So we're going to see how that goes. It competes against Sim 2, swinging on the same day and just at the same time. In conclusion, I think this is the best range of Epics they've brought out. I think it's the best range of drivers that Callaway have brought out for a while. And I would argue that it's probably the best range of drivers on the market this year. It has something for everyone, much like the Cobra Rad Speed. I just think the low spin head is going to go into a lot more players' bags and maybe split more evenly between the draw biases and the speed and the XP. I think that the low spin heads are going to be more popular in the Callaways, and at 449 is the price they're being pitched at, and I think that's where they're going to rest, at 449. So it's £50 more than a TaylorMade and £80 more than a Cobra. That will come into it, of course. Like I said, golf is a price competitive market at the moment, and but I think the Callaways are strong enough at that price. I really do. I really think the Callaways are strong enough at that price. This could go in my bag this year. It really, really could. It really could. And it may well do so. As always, guys, thanks for tuning in. Give it a little thumbs up, because that gives more people the chance to see this. And I'll see you next time. That was nice. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you next time.